Do you live in a world filled with corporate data? Are you plagued by siloed departments? Are your lackluster growth strategies demolishing your chances for success? Are you held captive by the evil menace, Lord Lack? Lack of time, lack of strategy, and lack of the most important and powerful tool in your superhero tool belt, knowledge. Never fear, HubHeroes. Get ready to don your cape and mask, move into action, and become the Hub Hero your organization needs. Tune in each week to join the League of Extraordinary Inbound Heroes as we help you educate, empower, and execute. HubHeroes, it's time to unite and activate your powers.
I can tell you in all the episodes, that's the first time I've ever used the intro as like walk-off music. Like, just give him the hook, get him the break. I don't want to hear it. I'm going to be mad about snow and nobody can say anything. That's
I didn't realize you were going into the intro. That's my
It's really unfortunate that I am in control of the outline, so I can change it at will. Max, do you have any responses to George B. Thomas about his snow needs?
Oh, yeah. You say, what is it, 16 degrees? It sounds tropical compared to what I'm dealing with. Well, I literally turned the truck on the other day and it said 0 degrees outside. I'm like,
no.
God,
and
amazing.
Here's what's crazy. It's like Mother Nature hates me because now I just looked back up at my little, Windows browser thing and it says 20 degrees. So now we're 4 degrees warmer than we were like 10 seconds ago.
So I need the rest of the East Coast, all of the East Coast listening audience to understand, if you are feeling badly because you're in that, like, we got 20 inches of snow, 3 inches of ice pack, I need you to understand this actually had nothing to do with you. It was a personal vendetta against George B. Thomas specifically.
Yes.
And you are just collateral damage.
Yes. Mother Nature is not liking me right now.
I'm so sorry. Do you need a priest or a telethon or a hug?
Can I get all three?
Working
that's
on it
selfish.
Right now.
Yeah, that's selfish. Never mind.
Yeah, just the priest, obviously.
In progress.
Yeah, just the priest. All right, guys.
Yeah.
I love how after 8,000 episodes of loop marketing, on that last episode, we were like, we're only going to do one part.
I think we really had a few more in us if we wanted to.
And I tried to push it.
We could have done
Here's
more.
my favorite part. That last episode, you're like, no, we're not going to do it in 2 parts. We're going to do it in 1 part. And we did. Yeah. And then we immediately turned around and created a 2-parter episode about a completely different topic. That is right, ladies and gentlemen. We are back.
We got a problem.
Liz, I'll be honest. I was kind of hoping we just hard pivot back to loop marketing.
God!
If we could just go ahead and do that, that'd be fantastic. Loop back. Yeah.
We could circle back to loop marketing.
Yeah. Oh my God! Why didn't they call it circle back marketing? Such a great opportunity for branding.
That's true. Because the loop is just a circle back, is it not?
And I have the same feeling when I hear it.
But it's kind of like flywheel.
Exactly, dude.
Should we do a postscript episode about loop marketing where we just give HubSpot a bunch of marketing tips about it, from rebranding to maybe content strategy is its own section? It's fine. I'm not bitter.
Oh, God help me.
No. All right. Before we end up starting,
I am not petty. I'm detail oriented. It's different.
I'm gonna remember that one.
Love you guys. Anyway,
that's great.
We are back talking about Breeze, talking about custom assistance, assistance. I always get confused because I'm like, is it custom agents, custom assistants? It's both and.
Yes, yeah.
And then, exactly. I love my vocabulary lessons with HubSpot, and then also knowledge vaults. So we talked about strategy in our last episode before George. There we go.
George. I like that.
George was buried under a frozen tundra specifically designed for him. We talked about the strategy of these things, and this week we're going to get into tactics. We're going to get into tools. We're going to get into the use cases. But George, there were a couple of big product updates that you wanted to talk about first. So hit us.
Yeah. So, well, first of all, if people haven't been paying attention to the right-hand sidebar and product updates, go to product updates, and then you can literally filter by the app. So you can do like Breeze, or you can do things like, Breeze Copilot. It actually says in there Breeze Intelligence, Breeze Studio, and you can do like a certain time frame. And so like a couple things that have kind of been happening recently, you can now embed image search for knowledge vaults. And so what before, when you are using knowledge vaults, you would put a bunch of textual like documents and stuff into a knowledge vault. But now, and if there were any images in there, it wasn't like seeing the stuff in the images. So like think of like graphs, charts, things like that. But now embedded image search is in knowledge vaults. And so, by the way, if historically you had images in your documents, it just works. But if you want to now upload images into a knowledge vault, it'll just work. There's also things like filters in agent inbox that you can connect custom objects now to your knowledge vaults. That wasn't a thing. So like if you start to think about unique ways that you use knowledge vaults, say, for instance, I know this one organization, they use custom objects as a way they pay attention to like who has what. Like Bobby has this computer, Jenny has this computer, this truck belongs to this person. Very reminiscent of like a roofing company, maybe, right? And because they have this equipment. Well, before, how would you use an assistant, or how would you be able to have conversations around that information? And you really couldn't. But now you can use Breeze agents, assistants, and again, we'll kind of break this down, but against those custom object items. And so, yeah, there's just a lot like segmented powered knowledge vaults, conversation starters, and custom assistants. Again, you should just go to your portal, go to the right-hand side, go to product updates, filter it by all, and then the app is just Breeze Studio, and see what has been changing, because they're always changing things and adding things to these new, and I can't call them new anymore, but to these AI tools that we have access to in HubSpot.
I like tools.
Yes,
we like tools.
We do.
I like hammers.
Hammers.
Socket wrenches.
So I think what's really cool about these is the whole like adding of a segment. I think it's like a lot more powerful than like a lot of people like may think like right off the bat.
Yep.
And George, it lets you put like active segments in it, right? So like as people get added to the segment, they'll then in theory be or not people, records get added to the segment. They'll be seen in the knowledge vault, which is really, really interesting, especially when you start saying like the custom object stuff. Like I can see a world where, I don't know, I'm going to use the events context here just because like that's the only thing I'm like ever thinking about lately. Do you do something
with events?
We do some stuff with events. Just a couple of things with events. Do
you have like a special tool you like to use for events?
We might make like an app.
Oh,
happily.
Oh,
we
gotcha.
do like event stuff.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Totally.
So you're going to go in the events direction then?
I'm going to go in the events direction just because I think I have a really cool use case for it. Like, so we use like custom objects to, like to represent the event itself. If in theory, and I'll probably go test this later, but this sounds like really cool. In theory, if I have like a segment called upcoming events, and they're basically just like a segment where it's like filtering event objects.
All the event records,
you can even do this with your marketing events object in theory, because you can make a segment off of marketing events, right? I hope so.
Well,
there's a lot to say for that. But neither here nor there. But what I'm saying is, you can make a segment of upcoming events and then make and so that would be like start date is before today or whatever, or after today or something like that. I can't remember how you set the filter up.
Anything that's in the future or ongoing and in the future.
Yeah, and it would hold on to your. It would hold on to your. I guess that list would only have, or the segment. Dude, I'm still so bad at saying segment instead of list.
It's
just still funny that they put the word list. They put lists in parentheses. Like
I think it'll go away.
Oh, dude, did you see that what they did with main team is now default team? Previously main team is in parentheses.
Those things will go away eventually. I think.
Yeah, let's hope so.
They will.
But like in theory, I could go make a assistant that's like the upcoming events assistant, and I could say like, hey, look at this segment of like events, and then they'd be able to like tell the user like about events coming up and be able to like surface like a registration page or like see how many, how much capacity is left, or like, deliver information like about the event or something like that.
Yeah.
That's really interesting.
Well,
I almost wonder because assistants can update record properties, right?
They can update records. Yeah. Well, you can kind of in a roundabout way, but you can also fire off custom API calls.
That's true.
If you're talking about the customer assistant,
that's the thing. Hang on. Okay, there's a difference between the customer agent, which doesn't hook into Knowledge Vaults. It has its own system. And what we're talking about today, which is Knowledge Vaults and like the assistants and the agents that you can do. So I want us to backtrack for a second, and Max, for your example, events, think internal teams inside your HubSpot portal, being able to attach objects, plus attach segments, plus add information to then be able to have an assistant or agent that is really smart on the actual events or the type of people that are doing the events and things that you might want to talk about, interact with, or do for the events. Because the other piece that I'll say to this is once you build that Knowledge Vault out, and I'll share my screen, by the way, for this one, just so people can kind of see what we're talking about here. Once you have that Knowledge Vault built out, then the really cool piece is, one, you can use it as a Breeze assistant like you would any other place. But then also you can use it in workflows. So now imagine having this really smart agent assistant that is getting its information, its custom instructions, if you will, from the custom instructions would be on the agent side, but it's information, it's knowledge from the vault. And so literally I'm just showing my screen so you can see, like, obviously you give it a name, you give it a description, but for the files, this is where you can add files, and you can literally like just go to your desktop or whatever, drag and drop any files. If you were building something like an email creator assistant, and you historically had like Google Docs that were in Google or Microsoft or whatever, and all of a sudden you wanted to bring over like those examples or voice and tone or things like that at a very micro sales, like use it as a assistant, you could do this. If you're building a qualifying bot or qualifying assistant, you might bring in some information around what is a qualified human or organization. And so it knows to look at that information. And then here's where you can literally like add HubSpot knowledge articles, blog posts, landing pages, websites, even calls, by the way, now can be added in here. This is where you where you would also see the custom objects once the beta is turned on, just in a portal that the beta for that isn't turned on. And then this is where you can add the segments. So this is, you literally go down through, pick what segment you want. So again, you kind of have to think about how this is a place where I can give it the knowledge it needs from a PDF, Word doc, image standpoint. I can give it the knowledge it needs from objects where we're storing information. I can give it knowledge it needs based on segments and the humans or companies that are in those segments. And then the assistant has its own custom instructions that I can run as an assistant in the top right-hand corner next to Breeze, or in a workflow trigger moving forward, depending upon what you're building.
Hey, George.
Yeah.
Hey. Can you open up that screen share one more time for me, buddy?
Sure, I can.
I'm gonna look at that interface we just looked at for a second.
You're kind of scaring me with your voice.
Yeah, no. I want you to open that up again. All right. Hold on, real quick, right here.
Yeah.
Okay. Is there anything on this page that you see that might make Max blood red mad? Anybody? Is there anything on this page?
Mad, or red as a qualifier?
Is there anything on this page that you think might be about to send Max through the roof? Anything?
Let's see. There's knowledge.
No,
Max
I'm
likes
cool
knowledge.
With knowledge. I love knowledge.
There's data sources.
Love those.
Max likes data sources.
Love those.
You can build your agent's knowledge, create vaults, connect your CRM
Great place
data.
to start. That's an amazing
files,
place to start.
Create vault. Max likes names.
Yeah, I love names. Names are
Max
great.
likes descriptions. He likes files.
Yeah.
No.
Does anyone wait? So wait, hold.
What?
Do I like HubSpot content with a lowercase s?
Oh.
Do I like
HubSpot
content with a lowercase s?
Oh. Wow.
Hey.
Oh,
Hey.
HubSpot.
Boom, roasted.
Oh.
HubSpot.
Hey.
No,
Is this a LinkedIn post from a moron who doesn't know anything about anything?
God.
I'm sorry. Is this a
They
is this
really
a
put
Fiverr
HubSpot with a
expert's
lowercase
bio?
s.
Is this a HubSpot expert's bio on Fiverr?
Oh, man.
What are we doing? What are we doing, guys? Who did that? Who's the designer? Who's the? Who?
Hang on.
What?
Hang on. I officially have to take a picture of that.
Oh,
I'm taking a
I did.
screenshot. I'm live right here, folks. I'm taking a screenshot and I'm going into the Breeze Studio private. I'm pasting it in
In our own interface,
HubSpot
guys. Who did that?
lowercase s. Max is losing
Listen,
his mind on HubHeroes right now.
As we speak.
As we speak, yeah. I'm literally putting this in the Breeze Beta Slack channel.
Man,
Uh,
I haven't seen Max this
No.
mad since he found out about what used to be HubSpot projects and the like nav drop down by your face.
projects can stay there forever as far as I'm concerned. The fact that
Well, but they have
we
new
have
projects.
surface area in HubSpot that has a lowercase s.
oh,
What
man.
happened? What's that about?
Well, the good thing is the tool still works. And I bet
Does it?
in the very near future
Does it?
that's going to be a capital S.
I gotta
Max,
be honest, guys.
Max,
I've
when
only asked
I
one
open it
question.
up
We're
and
doing
it's
great.
a capital S, I'm just going to take a screenshot.
I think we could do
I'm
part
going to
3.
post it on LinkedIn and just mention Max, and it'll just be the screenshot.
Yeah. Don't do that because I'll delete
be
my
great.
LinkedIn account. Honestly, don't do it.
Mm-hmm.
Don't do it. Also clip this. I need this clip.
Yeah,
That's insane.
we got our first
That's crazy.
emoji.
Chat,
We
clip
got our
this.
first
Clip
emoji
this
on
chat.
the post.
Do you know what my
Jeez.
favorite thing about this podcast is it usually only takes one question, because I want to be clear,
Yeah.
I've only asked one question this outline
Yeah.
for Max to lose his mind.
Yeah.
And that to me,
Takes one
It's like-
lowercase s
yeah, exactly.
in the tool. God,
It's
that's
my
tough.
constant for people who watch Lost. This is my constant. Max
you,
having a meltdown.
Are you going to be all right, brother?
No, honestly,
Do
no.
you need a priest telethon or a hug?
All
I
three.
need whoever put that capital S there to be
No, lowercase.
reprimanded. That's what
It's
I'll say.
pronounced
Lowercase s.
HubSpot.
Yeah, that's just. Come on, man. The QA
HubSpot.
Yeah.
QA should have got that. Should not have gone to production. I don't know.
Now,
Yeah.
speaking of that, I know we already started dipping our toe into this. I'm a
Yeah.
little scared. I would love to hear some more real world use cases for Breeze custom agents, because like you guys have started touching on this. You guys have started giving some examples, but I'd love to hear some of the most common
Mm-hmm.
because this is a land of great opportunity when it comes to using these tools.
Mm-hmm.
But I'd love for us to talk about some of the ones that would be like kind of the gateway drugs, the easiest
Yeah.
way.
I got one.
Go ahead, Jen.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think one thing that would be really cool, because one thing I noticed that you can log in there is calls. And if you're not aware, like the Zoom integration logs meetings as call objects, right? And if, say, you do any kind of training with some third-party software, like let's say my company onboarded Happily, and we wanted to remember everything about the config and the setup, we can add all of the calls that were recorded in HubSpot and use it as an internal, like, how is this configured, or setup portal, like ask it questions where its knowledge is directly sourced from the people who help you set up the tool that you're using, right? And you could have it be like an internal employee research knowledge, assistant, so that anybody who comes along in the future can go to the bot first to try to ask questions. And then, if needed, people can fill in gaps, but that it's aware of your HubSpot, it's aware of your records, it's aware of all the training you had on any given product, which would be pretty cool if you're onboarding a number of different products into your tech stack.
Yeah, I love it. What I want to say, Liz, and I'll give you a couple examples that I started to talk about, but I can go deeper, is what I would want people to think about is like, what is the current hurdle or activation or information that they actually want to have a conversation with or get to create something through a workflow action, or because it's going to be different for every organization in the way that they could use these. And when I say the way that they can use these, again, before I go back into examples, I do want to just share my screen again, because even at the beginning, Liz, you were like agents, assistants, I don't know what to call them. Well, in HubSpot, if you go to the Breeze Studio, there's literally agents, which if you click on the agents, it's basically what I'll call assistants or agents. We'll keep it called agents that are pre-built for you to be able to grab. So like example, social post agent, company research agent, deal loss agent, customer health agent. And so there might be something already built that you can go in. Hey, I need a cross-sell, upsell agent or an RFP agent. Oh, I'll never use that one. Anyway, just not right for the business that we do. But you can see like these agents, and then assistants. If we go back here, assistants, this is literally where it's like you're creating your special thing. And that's what we're talking about as far as use cases. And so when I think about this, there are two that I have really enjoyed, and I enjoy talking about. One is, for an organization, we created an assistant where it literally is a qualification, assistant, because it can go out and search the internet, by the way. And so if you give it this information, you give it this knowledge vault, you give them these custom instructions, which, by the way, I probably should go ahead and just, I should probably go ahead and share my screen one more time, because visuals are actually really good with this. When you're creating the assistant, you have like the welcome message that you can set. You can then give it custom instructions. You can give it these conversation starters. But now notice you can read your HubSpot CRM records from here, browse the web, and then this is where you would add that knowledge vault that you've built to this thing to give it that extra brain oomph, right? And so now it would show up kind of next to Breeze Assistant, and you could grab it and start to roll with it. And so when I think about this, though, it's like we created this qualification assistant. And so somebody comes in, or somebody from the sales team puts information in and says, can you run them through the qualification piece? And it'll tell them, like, it literally gives them like a 3-tiered, like, heck yeah. These are not the terms they use, by the way, because they're more of like a normal company than I guess I would say we are. But it's like a heck yeah to a heck no, right? And then a middle ground of like if they're qualified. And it literally gives like information that the rep would need to know based on the qualification that it made, because sometimes it's a maybe and you want to see some of the details. The other one that we created as an example is, yes, there are templates in HubSpot. Yes, there are snippets in HubSpot. Yes, you can build sequences in HubSpot, but we had a sales team that they wanted to get very granular on where they could ask it to try to write an email or a draft email for them based on like a plethora of things that they would want to ask for. So we fed it the knowledge in the knowledge vault. We gave it custom instructions, and now they can go to their Breeze assistant or their email assistant, and they can say, hey, I want to write an email that's about this, this, and that. Can you give me a draft? And now all of a sudden they've got like a draft in seconds. They can copy and paste, tweak, add a snippet, whatever, and be off to the races. And so those are two ways that we're kind of enabling. And I know both of those are sales. Not sorry. But those are ways that we're enabling the sales team to be quicker, be more efficient, be smarter with this use of the assistant inside of HubSpot.
I have some questions about this because I'm still like kind of shaky on its capabilities, because when you showed the assistant there, you have the checkbox that says you can read from HubSpot records. Yeah. Specifically pointing out that it says read. Does not say write.
Right.
But Breeze in general
The Breeze assistant.
The customer assistant, the customer agent. The customer agent is different than the Breeze assistant.
Yes, I know that.
No, Breeze in general, though, you can have it do write operations inside of HubSpot because it's basically connected to the HubSpot MCP server, the general Breeze assistant, which is what these assistant personalities, if you will, like these assistant profiles, that's what they run on, is the native Breeze assistant.
Yeah. Yes. So, okay. So, because I'm doing like a little experiment here, like I'm trying to understand like where the wall is right now. So it sounds like I can't give, in the current state, I can't tell a custom assistant to go update properties. It can read properties, but I can't give it specific instructions to upload property or to like actually write them. Right.
Well, you could tell, because I'm like, you can tell Breeze to go do this thing. Now, why would you use? Well, and there might be a reason that you would want a custom assistant to do that. But at the end of the day, if I was going to go in and do that, would I just go in and use normal Breeze to do that? Potentially, maybe. I don't know.
But this may source data from different things with a specific prompt to get the right information already pre-curated. And all you have to do is say, yep, that looks right. Go.
Well, basically. So what I did is I just used Breeze to register somebody for an event.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's what's funny is that like the Breeze wouldn't have any sort of like knowledge on this. And like, so I had to like tell it sort of the sneaky way of doing it in the background. I said, hey, go find me the most recently created event and give me its record ID. And it's like, sure, the most recently created event was this like test event, and here's the record ID for it. I was like, great, go find the contact with an email address, max@happily.com, and go take that value and go put it in their event registration trigger property, which is like the back end property that gets updated on HubSpot form. We do like a and it just did it, and the registration worked. And like, so like what I'm wondering is like, could I, but I don't know if I can. I can't build yet. Well, actually, there's two questions here.
Okay.
One, if I were to tell Breeze, hey, what you just did is the act of like registering someone for an event. Can you remember that if you go get an ID, take the number, and then go find a contact and put it in this specific property? Could you remember that? And then when anybody in this portal asks you, hey, can you register this person for this event? You know what to do. Or is that something like, can those memories be kind of like shared across the portal? Or is that,
I don't think they're shared across
right?
the
Those
portal,
memories aren't. They're just for you, right? You're a user. But in theory, if I could build a custom assistant that would have instructions telling it that, then it could. But the problem is the custom assistants can't yet write data, correct? They can read it, but I don't know if they can write it.
Well, but the custom assistants run on top of normal Breeze, which can write data.
And it'll tell it to do that?
Yeah.
Well, you can tell it to like, hey, you know, give it a prompt, explain what the definition of registering it for an event is.
Max just lost a weekend, by the way.
In the prompt.
Max literally just lost a weekend because he's like, I'm going to go and I'm going to build a knowledge vault. I'm going to build custom instructions for an assistant, and I'm going to see how far I, Max, can take this in the event space, which goes back to my main point. It depends on the organization. It depends on what your brain triggers that you want to solve. But yes, you do have things like memory. Yes, assistants can, you know, hook into things like your all the things that we're talking about.
That's pretty sick.
The possibility. So here's what I'll say. And I haven't said this out loud in too many places, but I'm going to say it out loud today. Like, you may have a full-blown process that you're doing in GPT or Claude, and you could now move that whole process into a Breeze assistant in HubSpot, and it worked just fine. That's how powerful this has gotten over time.
Yeah. I mean, remember when Breeze, we used it just like you used to use it for fun, like, oh, it's cool. It's like we got chat inside of HubSpot, but it kind of knows a little bit of stuff. And now it's connected to so much more It is so powerful. And even the pre-baked things like the meeting prep assistant. By the way, which they opened up to customer success seats now, by the way, or support seats. You can get meeting recorders. And anyway, like the things that they're doing natively are so, powerful and useful that every time I show someone from my company who's onboarding, because we're just hiring like gangbusters right now for certain roles, their minds are blown. They're like, why did I ever use Team Blue in the first place? I didn't even know this kind of stuff existed.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Guys, I don't know how to tell you this.
We're out of time. That's how you tell us.
Chad, you and I were joking. Maybe this is a 3-parter.
No.
4-parter. Right, but George, I want you to take a look at that outline and tell me what we did not talk about today, which is like, guys, but. So I'm very much looking forward to continuing this conversation. It's gonna be a good time.
Well, the good thing is by the next time we record, Max will probably have created 27 assistants. So
right, but we're not going to talk about assistants. We're going to talk about knowledge vaults.
Yeah, which I think we kind of did. Yeah, I think we talked about knowledge vaults.
Well, we're going to talk about it a little bit more because we got stuck on the assistant stuff for a while.
A hot minute.
I've been stuck on the assistant stuff for a long time. We also got stuck on lowercase s's.
Yeah, we did do that.
We're like,
I'm shaking still.
All right, George, land the plane. Take us home.
Well, I will land the plane in this way, Max. So after
seeing that lowercase s inside the HubSpot surface area, I'd like you to land that plane into the side of a cliff.
So here you go, Max. Max. Here's how we're gonna land the plane, ladies and gentlemen. Becca from the team over there at HubSpot says, thank you for flagging. P.S.
Is that Becca's stamp?
Hang on.
My
P.S.
bestie?
Hang on. I'm trying to do something here. Come on.
I'm doing something.
Yeah. So now that Becca Stamp says, thank you for flagging. P.S. Is this the famous Max Cohen?
Yeah, she said, listen, me and Becca have a standing monthly call. She is one of my best HubSpot friends in the world, just so you're aware. She's the most amazing human on the face of the planet.
She said,
that's someone who we should have as a guest at some point.
We should. She said, tell Max we're on it.
Good.
Okay, Hub Heroes, we've reached the end of another episode. Will Lord Lack continue to loom over the community, or will we be able to defeat him in the next episode of the Hub Heroes Podcast? Make sure you tune in and find out in the next episode. Make sure you head over to thehubheroes.com to get the latest episodes and become part of the League of Heroes. FYI, if you're part of the League of Heroes, you'll get the show notes right in your inbox, and they come with some hidden power-up potential as well. Make sure you share this podcast with a friend, leave a review if you like what you're listening to, and use the hashtag HubHeroes Podcast on any of the socials and let us know what strategy conversation you'd like to listen into next. Until next time, when we meet and combine our forces, remember to be a happy, helpful, humble human, and of course, always be looking for a way to be someone's hero.